While I'm out and about today, I thought I would begin to tell you the story of my hedgehog summer. So back at the beginning of June, I was doing an early morning walk. It was a very hot day. Before I set off, I thought I'd fill the bird bath up in my garden. And underneath, took some hunting, but underneath the lavender near the bird bath was a very noisy, poorly hedgehog. So I kept an eye on it for most of that day. I made sure that there was shade, and I bought some cat food for it. I just went to check to see if I could still hear it. And the hedgehog was out just in the border. It'd come out from underneath the lavender, was just lying there in the border. So I knew that it wasn't right. You know, you don't see hedgehogs during the day, so I knew all was not well. And so I contacted the Hedgehog Rescue people. So the advice from the Hedgehog Rescue people was that they couldn't take it in overnight because they'd got too many babies to look after. So if I was concerned, please could I keep it somewhere safe overnight, and we would talk again in the morning. So I found myself a box and popped this hedgehog in a box, nice and safe and sound, with some water and some food, and popped it somewhere safe overnight. But in June, the beginning of June, we had a very, very hot time, and the coolest place that I could find was not my garage, was not my shed, it was my dining room. And so this hedgehog stayed in the box in my dining room overnight. The next morning though, when I went downstairs for my cup of tea, there was a hole in the box. My hedgehog had escaped. It had eaten all the food, tipped the water over, and chewed a little hole in the corner of the box. So now I had a hedgehog somewhere downstairs in my house. I knew where it was though, because I could hear where it was because of the breathing. And so I spoke to the Hedgehog Rescue people again, and my little hedgehog went to stay with them. It got problems with its breathing, and she had a look at the faeces under the microscope, and there was evidence of parasites. So parasites will cause lung problems in hedgehogs. The hedgehog also had lots of ticks, and healthy hedgehogs will deal with ticks quite happily. They will de-tick themselves, so if they're unwell they aren't able to deal with the ticks, and she'd got lots of ticks. So that was evidence that she wasn't very well. And I'm saying she now, the lady at the Hedgehog Rescue said that she was a young female and a non-lactating female, so that was good. So that meant that there was no hoglets somewhere without a mum waiting to be fed. So the people at the Hedgehog Rescue said that they will take care of the hedgehog and treat her and de-tick her, and I was to expect a phone call in about 3 weeks' time when she was ready to be released. And that release would be back in my garden. She was to be put back where she was found. So during those 3 weeks I made a hedgehog house. We've got a roof on now. The roof on the tunnel has a slope to run the water away, and it has a lip so that water runs off of here and runs down. I don't think it's going to get much water. And wood is quite hard, so the staples didn't go in very well, but it is done. So all I need is my little hedgehog to come back. And I made a log pile and made a nice place for my hedgehog to return, not knowing that my hedgehog would return, whether she would be well enough to return, but I did all this in preparation, hoping that she was going to come back. And then one Friday morning I got the message from the Hedgehog Rescue people. My hedgehog was ready to come back, and was I ready to have her back? So on a Friday evening, me and my mum went to the Hedgehog Rescue place to collect her. Oh, hello my sweetie, you're coming home.
If you send that to me, then I can put it on my group, because you're not on Facebook, are you?
I'm not on your Facebook group, no. She looks like a little owl sat there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
This little ball of prickles, and we brought her back into the garden. So this is going to be Hedgehog home. So we've got the tunnel here, and there's also a little log pile back there, and the box is held open at the moment. So we've got her back, but I'm just going to put some straw in the box. So there's some straw there. Exciting. Got Grandma here as well. Yes. Hedgehog helper. I'm going to put the box over here. I'm going to put some paper in, which smells of her. Hello, sweet pea. Let's just wedge you there a minute. Come on. Let's have a little. I don't know which way round I've got her. Which way round have I got her? Hello. Hello.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I've got the door wedged at the moment. Oh, okay, I'll take that piece of paper with me. And there she is, tucked up. So she's come home with some food.
Mm-hmm.
Really quite know where to put it actually, Mum. I'll just tuck it there.
Mm.
Now I'm going to put a few bits of dried food as well.
You want to put some bits sort of as from her.
Well, she's got some coming down the tunnel,
Yeah.
so I think that'll be fine. She'll find her way.
Yeah.
She's got to find her way.
Yeah. Okay.
Big and strong and mended. Very soon there was noise coming from the box, and it was evidence that she was coming out of the tunnel. We saw her come out of the tunnel, and she went round the corner and into the log pile. And when I crept out later on after dark, I could hear her eating. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's out of the log pile and it's now eating its food. I think it's about 9:30 at night. So my little hedgehog was out in the wild and she was eating. All was well.